This morning on The Dish, Australian-born chef Janine Booth. Born into a family of restaurant owners, she was inspired by the food of Australia's many cultures and decided to become a chef. After starting her career in Miami, she took her love of Southern cuisine north to New York. In 2014, she and partner Jeff McInnis opened Root and Bone, celebrating Southern fare and country comforts.
They followed up with a second branch in Miami Beach and last year added Stiltsville Fish Bar, offering locally sourced seafood in Miami's Sunset Harbor neighborhood. Chef Janine Booth, good morning. Welcome to The Dish.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for coming.
Such a pleasure.
We are overwhelmed by the size of this chicken and the look of that cake. Tell us what else is in store for us here.
So we have a little buffet here today, kind of a journey through all of the restaurants that I've opened over the last few years. So we have this coconut shrimp, which is a dish that we have on our restaurant in Miami called Stiltsville. It's a coconut shrimp. These are our deviled eggs from Root and Bone here in New York City, and we also have a location in Miami. And this is the fried chicken from Root and Bone. It's a signature dish with our buttermilk biscuits, and there's a little lemon powder on the fried chicken that gives the chicken a really nice zing. And then just some simple root vegetables, and of course we've got to finish with dessert, right? So this is a lemon cake.
Decadent.
With some whipped cream and strawberries. Very simple stuff, but really, really nice elevated versions of the classic dishes that you're really, really accustomed to.
Please tell me what this lovely beverage I am holding
Amazing.
is.
So I love gin, I love champagne, I love strawberries, and it's summer right now, so rhubarb is in season. So we made a little spritzer for you guys today.
Most refreshing.
That is delicious.
Absolutely delicious. So you grew up in the restaurant industry, as I said, but when did you know that food was your passion and was what you were going to do?
So I was probably around 12 years old. I started taking cooking lessons at school, and my parents loved to cook, but really my dad actually owned a couple of restaurants when I was growing up, and so I kind of grew up in the industry.
But he told you to stay away from it.
He did, yeah. He was like, look, you can go into the industry if you want, but you know, you're going to be working every weekend and a lot of holidays, and you know, you're not going to get to spend a lot of time with your family.
All true.
He kind of diverted me away, and I tried to you know, go into different fields, and I went to, I tried nursing, I tried teaching.
They just didn't speak to you.
No, and my parents were like, what is going on? She's going in all these different directions, and eventually I ended up back in culinary school, and that was when I really just found my place, and it just really made sense for me.
But you had a stint of traveling the world as well. I think there's nothing better than backpacking through countries.
So yeah, I left high school and I saved up all of my money. I worked in like an administration job, and I just saved up all my money, and I was really focused that I wanted to go traveling and really see the world and discover more about different cultures and cuisines, and so it was a really great time. I traveled for about 9 months, and all through Europe and Thailand and Indonesia, and it was just a really eye-opening experience for me, and it was really, really special. And then when I got home to Perth, my parents were like, okay, it's time for you to go.
It was over a meal in Miami that you met Jeff McInnis, right? That's really what started this partnership.
Yes, so I met Jeff at a restaurant called Gigi's he was working at. He was the chef, and I ate this meatloaf dish, and it was absolutely incredible. And I had just moved from Australia, and I'd never really had meatloaf before, and I'm like, if this is what meatloaf is, then like, I know exactly what everyone's been talking about this whole time, but it was like braised short rib, and it was not your regular meatloaf. And so I asked to meet the chef because I just wanted to figure out how to make the dish, and he was too busy, and eventually I actually went back the same night and ate the same dish a second time that night because it was just so good, and it was all I could think about. And eventually he was like, oh, is that girl back again? I better go meet her.
Left an impression, right?
So he was like, well, if you want to learn how to make this meatloaf, I'm not just going to give out my recipe. You have to come work for me. So I was in culinary school at the time, so it was a perfect kind of introduction to the industry. So
as I hand you this dish to sign, if you could have this meal with anyone past or present, who would it be?
So obviously, you know, I'm from Australia, and all my family is still out there, and I get back about once a year, but I would definitely want to share it with them, with my parents and my sisters and my nephews, and my daughter Sunny and Bryce, and Jeff, of course.
Awesome. Well, we thank you, Chef Janine Booth. We so are excited about digging in, aren't we?
We've
Always.
Absolutely.
We're already
digging in. And for more of Chef Booth and the dish, head to our website at cbsthismorning.com.